What's up, guys? Ooh. What's up, guys? It is, I don't know the date. Let's try this again. What's up, guys? One of the things that we love to do here at Crema is give back to the community. There are a lot of designer meetup groups. We used to host one called Coffee and Design. It still goes on and we love supporting it and sponsoring it if we can. And then we've got things like 1 Million Cups, it's for business. Bye, Nate. Have a fun vacation. Nate's going to Portland. So there's lots of things for business and entrepreneurship, but what's really missing and what we think that needs to be more served is the people that make really a lot of our companies run, and that's the project managers. And so tonight, we're doing the DPM Quarterly here at Crema. All right, Michael, test.
So project management is stuff to manage projects. And all right, so this is how we operate a 1-week production sprint at Crema. This assumes that we've already created a prioritized backlog, a list of functionality and user stories and things that we might want to use to build a product with that comes from an idea. A lot of this happens in a discovery, ideation, or validation phase with our clients to really whiteboard out and figure out what we want to do to get to that estimated list of functionality. With a lot of our clients coming in with completely new product ideas, oftentimes we've found out over time that having a short 1-week sprint works best because it allows us to have quick turnaround, it allows us to modify the prioritized backlog for that next sprint, and at the same time factor in, the client learns something from his or her early customers, then we're able to quickly factor that in the following week. Each of our sprints starts on Wednesdays with Wednesday kickoffs. This is a 3-part meeting that consists of a retrospective where we look back on the previous sprint. It consists of a sprint review, which that's when we're going to look at new backlog items that the product strategist has identified with the client team, and then also estimate them as well for prioritization. And then we're going to wrap up Wednesday kickoffs with the sprint planning session. This is when we actually identify as a team what work do we want to do this sprint. This is prioritized priority selection, say that 3 times fast, and it's guided by velocity. And velocity is a measurement of how many story points are we completing each sprint. Story point being an arbitrary level of effort that we use to estimate our priorities. It's way more accurate over time in these types of projects than just traditional hour estimation.
Do you want us to just jump into
Yeah, just go ahead and
Okay. I think a challenge too is trying to balance the needs between, for instance, with your product, there's a website that we're supporting and a new app that we're building. So a good exercise I think we went through today was identifying what on the web can we maybe take away this week so that we can move forward on velocity on the mobile app.
For me as a client, I'm new to these meetings, and you're good about bringing me in.
What we've tried to do with bringing the clients in on Wednesdays is really focus that time to move things forward and just consolidate as much feedback as we can into that time so the team has the information they need to move forward over the next sprint. So there isn't a lot of back and forth. And there still will be, and that's fine, and we have avenues to communicate, but it's a great time for us to just get all in the same room and bring you into our process because you're integral to that whole thing as well.
As we get the processes in place, the contracts in line, and the clients in line, and our team in line, which has been great, we get to a point where we've been successful with executing our scopes of work, which is great. That's what project managers are for, right? But what happens when you're executing successful scopes of work, but what you're building may not be successful? And so now the challenge that I'm really focused on is how do you kind of take these processes, rely on them in order to be more effective in the day-to-day decisions that a project manager is involved in.
What are you trying to learn? What do you think is like the next step for you when it becomes a project manager? What are you trying to get better at or learn more about? Or
we touched on it today, but consistency. Ensuring that our development engagements are consistent so that any of us could pick up the project at any given time. So learning and being kind of a curator of the process and just letting it flow the way it should.
Is it tough to sometimes just let the process flow versus try to put structure around it? Because sometimes there's not a right or wrong way to build stuff. Sometimes these guys have individual ways they like to work and flow and just do things. And
that's a good question. And in Agile, the whole thing is people over process. So you want to put the person first before a rigid process. However, in order for people to succeed and move forward and knock tasks out, there has to be a process in place. So I'm trying to ride that balance all the time.
When we actually create our task and accountability for this is actually done by our team. The product strategist and project manager do not create an assigned task. Instead, we ask the team to do that. Rather, we're there as resources to ensure that everything is appropriately scheduled throughout that week. Overall, this 1 week sprint framework has enabled us to deliver successful products to our clients faster, keep our communication up, and keep the general understanding up as to what are we actually getting at the end of the sprint based on the priorities that we collaboratively set.
One take Michael Luchin.
All right.
Wrapping up the week, last night went really well. We had a good showing, and I think that a lot of people really took away some good information about how to do good digital project management. Both us, we learned a lot, and I think that hopefully we shared some things about how we do things here at Crema. As usual, I want to ask you guys to subscribe to our channel, to comment below, and hopefully give us a little bit of love by sharing this video with your friends. If you're interested in keeping up with other events that Crema is putting on, definitely follow us on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the socials, and we'll be in touch soon. Cheers.
Oh, do you want to go slower?
That was good.